Last year, I started my fragrance collection all over again by gifting out the ones that I had in my collection before, and I started all over again. And in the past 1 year, I've learned a lot about fragrances and about myself. And so today I want to share what I've learned in the past 1 year about fragrances with you. I want to share 7 tips on how to start your fragrance collection. If this sounds like something that you want to learn, you want to know, just like me, then you have to stay tuned to the video. Let's go. Hello beautiful ladies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Adele Awoli. So my returning ladies, my lovely, beautiful, sophisticated ladies, I say a big welcome. I say a big thank you for coming back to watch my videos every week. I give you a virtual hug as I always do. Thank you so much. So if you see my face for the very first time here on Passion Heavily on my YouTube channel, I share inspirational videos on fashion, my personal style, which is modest. I advocate modesty, and I also share and show you how to be modest while being classy, being sophisticated, and just all around beautiful. I also share here on my channel, I share all about beauty, I share lifestyle, I share inspirational videos, like I said earlier on. For today's video, I'll be sharing 7 tips on how to start your fragrance collection. If this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, make sure that you stick around. And let's get into the video. All right, ladies, so the first tip I'm sharing today regarding starting your fragrance collection for the very first time, or if you're like me starting all over again, is for you to know the fragrance family that you belong. And what I mean by that is the kind of scent or the kind of fragrance that you gravitate towards, the kind of fragrance that you love to wear. Is it fruity floral, like my Burberry Her is very sweet, is very yummy, is fruity, it's, like I said, it's yummy. It's like, you know, it's edible, it smells edible when you sniff it. Or are you a girl or a lady that loves fragrances just like my Tom Ford right here, that is in between feminine and masculine, and it is a unisex fragrance? Or are you that lady that loves fragrances that is beast mode, just like my agent provocateur here? So that's what I mean, ladies. The second tip, ladies, that I'll be sharing with you today is for you to know the scent type. And what I mean by that is you have to know what you gravitate towards, how you love to smell, what you love in your fragrances. For me, I love feminine, fragrances. I love to smell free floral. I've said that many times here on my channel. So you have to understand what it is, exactly what it is that you love. If you're like me, maybe you love to, smell feminine. If you love oud, if you love that, that medium between masculine and feminine scents. So you have to know exactly what it is that you love in your fragrances. Do you love heavy fragrances? Do you love, like I mentioned earlier on, floral, fruity? You love heavy fragrances? Do you love, the niche fragrances? Do you love spicy fragrances? So these are some of the scents, ladies, that you need to be able to understand about yourself, first of all, before going ahead and purchasing any fragrance. You just have to know what your taste, if I will, is in the fragrance family. If you're like me, that you're starting all over again, is to use YouTube as one of your resources. Do your due diligence and do tons of research before getting back into your fragrance game, if you will. There are a lot of fragrance connoisseurs, fragrance enthusiasts here on YouTube. They have tons of knowledge. They talk all about fragrances. They tell you, how it wears, how many hours it wears on you, depending on your body chemistry. So YouTube is a big resource if you're starting your fragrance collection for the very first time. I highly suggest and recommend that you do your research here on YouTube before starting your collection. After you have watched tons of videos, you've done your research online, and you now know the kind of fragrance family that you belong to. You know if you are a fruity girl like me, if you're a floral girl like me, or if you are into the oud fragrances, if you're into the bismuth fragrances, you know all that by now. The next thing I will highly recommend that you do is to go into departmental stores, go into Sephora, Nordstrom, Saks Fifth, you know, anywhere, Hudson Bay, Hot Renfield, wherever it is that they sell fragrances, and go on a sniffing session like I always, you know, do. I do this from time to time just to understand more about, you know, the kind of fragrances that I like, the kind of fragrances that I have. Also, you learn by asking sales associates there in the store all about the, you know, the brands, you know, the kind of fragrances like I mentioned earlier on, just to generally have a good knowledge, you know, have a robust knowledge about fragrances. When you take a day and you go into the store, you have the time to ask them a bunch of questions and they will answer all your questions. You have the time to sniff. You have the time to even spray. You have the time to spray on the fragrance strips that is given at the stores. Also, I'll highly recommend that you test it on your skin. That way you know the exact smell of that particular fragrance that you like, or fragrance family, or if it's a brand that you're gravitating towards, you know exactly what it is that you like. Because sometimes you hear people's reviews and you think you're gonna like it, right? But then when you go into the store to go sniff that same fragrance, you realize that it's not for you. So hence why I say that you have to go into the store for a sniffing session. And that is my number 3 tip today. The number 4 tip I'm sharing with you today, if you're starting your fragrance collection for the very first time, or if you're starting all over again, I will highly recommend that whenever you go in for a sniffing session, that you ask for samples. Make sure that you go around, because some sales associates might not just want to share, might not just want to give you samples, but you know, don't go to just one counter, don't go to just one store. Like, walk around, go to other places that fragrances are being sold. They want to sell their fragrances, right? And how are you going to buy a fragrance that you don't know what it smells like, right? So don't be scared, don't be afraid. Ask for samples, ladies. I've even done like a fun TikTok video. If you're not following me on any of my social media, ladies, please make sure that you check me out on Instagram and also on TikTok, and follow me on there as well. I do share every week, on a daily basis, every week, videos on there. So make sure you follow along there as well. Now, as I was saying, make sure that you ask for samples. Samples is what makes you understand, you know, a lot of, you know, all these fragrances that people talk about. When you have samples in your hand, you're able to test those samples, and you are able to understand what exactly it is people are talking about when they're talking about a fragrance family, they're talking about a brand, or they're talking about a particular fragrance. So I will highly recommend that you ask for samples. The 5th tip I'll be sharing with you today, ladies, is when you've asked for samples, you've used those samples, and you find the ones that you like. The next thing I will highly suggest, ladies, is before you commit into a 50 ml bottle, or before you commit into a 100 ml bottle, I will highly suggest that you try that fragrance in a 10 ml, or if you think you really love it, go for a 30. Okay, that's exactly what I did when I bought my first Hermes fragrance. So that's what I did with my, you know, when I first got this a sniff or a whiff of this Hermes fragrance. This is what the packaging looks like. I've already opened it. Okay, that's what it looks like. So this is the Jeu de Hermes fragrance. I hope I pronounced that right. My kids are always in French school, and they're always teaching me how to pronounce all these French words. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. So this is the Jeu de Hermes. Okay, that's what it looks like. So this is a 30 ml bottle, ladies. This is what I'm talking about. When I first sniffed this fragrance, I absolutely loved it, because it was totally different from, my usual fruity floral. It's a floral fragrance. However, it's very different. It's a tad bit stronger than what I usually go for. But I realized that I really, really love it. And so I made sure that, the lady that I got this from, she was so kind to me that she gave me a sample. Okay. And so I was able to test that sample over and over. I was able to test it for days over and over again. And with this fragrance, ladies, this fragrance is going to be very special to me because this fragrance actually made me understand one of the reasons why I have headaches when I wear fragrances. This fragrance actually made me understand that for me to wear some certain fragrances, I need to feel my tummy. I know it sounds crazy, it sounds funny, it sounds out of this world, but this is what I've discovered, from someone, take it from me, someone that gets headaches from fragrances. So make sure that, the fragrances that you're testing out are not headache inducing, and if they are, you have to understand what it is that is inducing those headaches. So this is my latest fragrance. Like I said earlier on, this is the Jeux de Hermès. Okay, that's what it looks like. I have it in the 30 ml bottle. Absolutely love this fragrance. All right, ladies, let's do a quick recap of the 5 tips that I've already shared before I move on into the last 2. The first tip I shared was to know the fragrance family that you belong. Do you love fruity floral? Do you love oud? Do you love heavy fragrances? Do you love unisex fragrances? That's the first one. The second tip I shared was for you to do your research online. Again, YouTube is a huge resource when you're looking into anything, fragrance, beauty, style, whatever the case might be. YouTube is a good resource. The third tip I shared was for you to go into the store and have a sniffing session. The fourth one is to ask for samples. The fifth tip is to use the sample that you've gotten and see how it works with your body chemistry before you commit to the bigger size. Now, having done that recap, let's move on to the 6th tip. So the 6th tip I'm sharing with you today, if you're starting your fragrance collection for the very first time, or if you're starting all over again, is for you, now that we've gone through all the 5 tips, you know exactly what you want, you've gotten the samples, and you're ready to commit to a bigger size bottle. Ladies, the 6th tip I'm going to share with you is for you to go with a signature scent. And what I mean by that is a signature scent is a fragrance that is not offensive to anyone. It is blind buy worthy. It is crowd pleasing. It is walkwear worthy. You can wear it, every single day. You can wear it to work. You can wear it to the store. You can wear it every single day, right? Whereby people will even know that's your scent. So having a signature scent also in your collection is very, very important. And I honestly would recommend that you get a signature scent first before you start dipping your toes into other types of fragrances that you're going to have a mix in your collection. So having a signature scent, ladies, I highly recommend when you're ready to commit to getting that full-size bottle. A signature scent worthy fragrance is the one that you're going to wear every single day. You're going to feel good, you're going to smell good, and people will definitely give you compliments. So ladies, the last tip I'm going to be sharing with you today in today's video is for you to have different fragrances for different occasions. And what that means is I just spoke about signature fragrances. You have signature fragrances, just like my newest bottle that I just got from Giorgio Armani. This is the Giorgio Armani Sea Fiori. Unfortunately, this fragrance I've heard is getting discontinued. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard many times, even here on YouTube, people have confirmed that this fragrance is getting discontinued, which is a total shame, because this is a beautiful fragrance. And as you can totally see just by looking at the bottle that this is a signature worthy fragrance. Is a feminine fragrance. Is very soft, it's beautiful, it's non-offensive, it's crowd pleasing, totally bland buy worthy fragrance. So hence why a lot of people are really disappointed that, you know, Giorgio Armani is discontinuing this fragrance. They've not said, or they've not shared the reason why they are discontinuing. But, you know, typical of brands, they just, you know, discontinue stuff without telling anybody why and, you know, when. But we've heard that, or the fragrance community here on YouTube has heard that this fragrance is getting discontinued. So if you are in a market for a signature worthy fragrance, I highly recommend the Giorgio Armani C Fiori. Is totally amazing for every single day. So having said that, going back to having different fragrances for different occasion, again, this Giorgio Armani C Fiori, it's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, very feminine, very soft fragrance for every day. Another fragrance that you love or you need to have in your collection is a date night worthy, just like this Coco Chanel Coco Noir that I already shared this fragrance when I first had it a couple of months ago. And if you've not watched that video for the review, I'll leave the video up here in the card somewhere, and also a thumbnail here, and also a link in the description bar below. That way you can go watch the video and hear all about the reviews of, or the first impression rather, of this fragrance. So this is a date night worthy fragrance, no doubt. For me, I love it so much that it's not something I want to wear every single day. It's very the scent trail, the sillage, everything about this fragrance is absolutely amazing. Hence why, you know, I will highly recommend that you have fragrances, you know, for different occasions. Like I said, you know, the C Fiori is a beautiful one for every day. This is a beautiful one for a date night with the hubby, with your boyfriend, you know, even with your girls, right? And also another one that is date night worthy is the Jeu de Hermès. Very beautiful, very, very feminine. So yeah, ladies, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope the 7 tips that I shared is informative and will help someone out there. If this video was helpful to you, if it made sense to you, if you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video, share this video, you know, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Click that notification bell so that every time I publish a fun video just like today, an informative video just like today, you will definitely be notified. And don't forget to follow me on social media, on my Instagram, my TikTok, also on my website at www.passionheavenly.com to get all the scoop of fragrance, style, beauty, travel. Everything is on my website. Make sure that you check out my website as well. And having said all of that, ladies, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you so much for watching today's video. And like I said earlier on, please share my videos with your friends, your family, your colleague, your co-worker, your boyfriend, your sister. Everybody share my video with everybody that you love. That way they can also watch and enjoy my videos. Thank you so much again for watching today's video. And as I always say, you know, I don't take you for granted for coming back every week to watch my videos. Until next week, take care, ladies, and have a wonderful day. Take care, ladies. Bye.